Hello everyone, I am Estelle and welcome to this training course of VMS operation and maintenance. I will present this course in two parts. First, I will give you a brief introduction of VMS, including the introduction of Unicorn, one of VMS products, and its typical networking. And then I will demonstrate VMS on both BS client and CS client, showing you configuration of common functions, maintenance, and operation. VMS is an easy-to-deploy, scalable, and reliable management platform, integrating management, storage, decoding, forwarding, alarm control, and access control functions. Unicorn is one of our VMS products suitable for applications such as buildings, hotels, industrial parks, and chain stores. I will introduce this product as an example, and the functions are almost the same with other VMS products. First, what's the difference between Unicorn and NVR? The main differences are Unicorn support accessing to decoder, while NVRs don't. Unicorn support master-slave architecture to extend system performance and efficiency of system, such as easy cloud device, management capability, storage, and bandwidth capacity. Unicorn also supports hierarchical network structure networking, and it supports accessing to third-party alarm devices. And last, Unicorn supports EMAP function, while NVRs don't. This is the back panel of Unicorn with abundant interfaces. It has 4 GE ports and 2 SPF ports. It has 4 USB ports and also one RS-232 port for device debugging. It supports dual power supply for redundancy and has built-in decoder. It has 2 HDMI and 1 VGA ports for video output. There are also many alarm input and output ports for alarm device accessing. Unicorn supports 4 IP addresses with multiple network working modes. They are multiple address mode, load balance mode, and fault tolerance mode. Then I will introduce you two typical networking of Unicorn. The first one is distributed storage. In this topology, most IPCs are connected to NVR, and few IPCs are connected directly to Unicorn. Recordings are mainly stored in distributed NVR, and Unicorn is used to back up partial important storage of NVR. Unicorn manages NVRs and their resources IPCs, supporting functions such as recording and live view. This topology is suitable for chain stores or banks. In these scenarios, there are usually multiple branches and one center. We can deploy NVR in branches and Unicorn in headquarters. The second one is central storage. In this topology, all IPCs are managed and stored centrally in Unicorn and its storage server. The storage servers are for storage expansion. Up to 4,000 channels can be accessed to this platform. This is a brief introduction of VMS Unicorn. And now let's move on to part 2, demonstration of VMS software platform. There are 2 ways to access VMS platform. The first one is web access, mainly for configurations and maintenance. And the second is CS client software, mainly for operations, such as live view, playback, a video wall EMAP, and other smart functions such as face recognition. I will log in web browser first to show you common function configuration and maintenance. Open a web browser and enter Unicorn's IP address. The default IP address is 192.168.1.60. Enter username and password to log in. The default username is admin and the password is 123456. And for security, it is strongly recommended to change the password after logging for the first time. If you forget the IP address, you can use Easy Tool to find IP. This is the Easy Tools. Refresh, and this is Unicorn and its IP address. Log in. This is the home page consisting of common functions, statistic charts, and some functional buttons. I will show you how to use the common functions, and I will start with basic function. Let's say there is a surveillance project for an industrial park, and there are 10 buildings in this park, each building 10 floors, and many cameras on each floor. We can create organization with different buildings and then create different floors under different building and assign IPC to corresponding floor. Creating organization is very important and efficient to manage such a scale project. The root organization is created by default, and under it, users can create other organization. We add a building 1 under the root. Building 2. Select building 1 and add floors. Okay, the new added organization appears on the left side list. Now let's add devices. Click Device. Unicorn can manage devices including encoding device, decoder, smart device, and access control device and other link resource. And we'll take these 3 as an example. Encoding device include IPC, NVR, and encoder. We'll click Flow 1 and do auto search. Encoding devices in the same lane with the VMS are discovered. We add a NVR, enter the password. And then in floor 2, auto search. We add another 2 IPC camera. We can click batch add. Enter the username and the password. Okay. We add a decoder under the root. ADU. And for the smart device, we will add an NVR under the building 3. NVR 824. It supports smart functions. Okay. And after adding these devices, let's move back to the organization. Unicorn provides a flexible way to manage devices. You can select devices from the general organization and save it as your customized organization. Click Add, enter a name, add sub-organization part 1. And then choose devices under general organization to this sub-organization. Okay. And we will add another one to part 2. Okay. This is how to create a custom organization. And we can do operations, edit it or delete it. And then user configuration, including role and user configuration. A role is a collection of permissions. We can assign different permissions to different roles. And a role can be assigned to multiple users, and a user can have up to 16 roles. There are 3 default roles, or manager and operator. We can create a new role. Select the level. You can copy from the existing roles, or you just select from the operation or management. Okay. And then add a user. You can select multiple roles, and up to 16 roles are allowed. We select 2 here. And then the password, set a password. And so set a valid date to set the period during which the users can access to the system. And then select a time template. And later I will show you how to create a time template. All day is by default. Okay. And this is user time template. You can create your own template here. Copy from the existing all day template, or based on this template, you can edit by erasing. Or you can click edit and input the time. Okay. And the next one is person configuration. Click person. We can add basic information of a person for further use, such as face recognition or access control. We'll add person ID, name, or gender, and click OK. And then next, server configuration. We can view information and the status of the central server. Click this icon to view the details, connection information, and the bandwidth information. And this is distributed server. View details, rename, and set its working mode, or delete it. To add a slave server or a replica server, we have to access its web page to do the binding. And then third one is allocate resources. To allocate devices, including cloud devices, to primary or replica servers for load balance. We can drag devices to the intended servers, or auto-assign to assign all devices automatically. Or you can click Restore to restore the original status when the page was loaded. Okay. And then batch configuration. We can do operations in batch, such as changing password or shut down NVRs. Select cameras and click batch change password. Enter the new password. Or batch shutdown NVR. Batch scramble stream. This function is to enhance data security via video stream encryption. And we can also batch configure the encoding device parameter or do batch device upgrading. And the last one is recording schedule. We can create a recording schedule so the VMS can record videos of different cameras according to the set schedule. Click Add. Select a camera and select a time template, all day, or create a new one. Select a stream main or sub, the disk group, normal storage or IPSAM, and then OK. We can also customize time template here. It's quite similar to user time template configuration. Copy from all day time template. Okay, the new time template is available when you add a recording schedule. This is the basic configuration. And then alarm configuration. We can configure alarms so that the specific sources will trigger actions such as recording, buzzer, email, or snapshot. Click Add and follow the steps to add alarm configuration. A name easy to identify is recommended. And select a time template or create a new one. Select alarm source and select alarm type, motion detection. Click to the right. OK. You can delete, edit, and disable it. You can also set time template here. Contacts. We need to add a valid email address in contacts if we set email as a triggered action. Enter the name and email address of the recipient and click Test Email to test. If successful, it means your email can receive the alarm message. And then customize alarm level. There are 5 alarm levels from level 1 to level 5, and level 1 represents the most serious and are colored with red. You can select alarm type and select its alarm level. The settings are saved directly. And you can also select multiple alarm type and set in batch. Okay, and the alarm levels are set in batch. And the last one is alarm subscription. With this function, subscribers will only receive certain types of alarms. Irrelevant alarm messages will be filtered. Click Add. Select Alarm Subscriber. Click to the right. Next. Select alarm source and then alarm type. Click to the right. Save. The alarm's subscription appears in the list and can be deleted, edited, and disabled as needed. And then next part is system configuration. Click Basic. We can view the basic information of Unicorn, including device name, ID, language, model, and other information. And time. Configure time for the Unicorn, including time zone, date format, time format. If you select the Sync with Computer, it means the system time of the Unicorn will be synchronized with the client computer. And if you enabled this auto update, it means an NTP server must be configured, and the system of the Unicorn will be synchronized with the NTP server. Set DST if your country or area use the daylight saving time. Time sync. This function is disabled by default. To enable this function, we can select On, set an synchronization interval, and then click Save. The Unicorn synchronizes time to all devices under it immediately, including IPC, NVR, encoder, and decoder, and then synchronize time to devices at the set interval. And then next is disk configuration. We can turn on or off the RAID mode. If we want to create a RAID, we can click on. But because the disk will be formatted automatically if we create an array, so I will cancel that. But as you can see that we can create an array by clicking the one-click Create or Manual Create button. It is recommended to create by default with one-click Create. And cancel. And then the disk. We can view disk information, including the slot number, device, disk status, space usage, property read-write or read-only, and for normal storage or backup storage. We set one disk for backup storage and another one for normal storage. And also you can format the disks. And then capacity. This is to allocate space to store videos and the snapshots of cameras. Click Allocate, and we select an IPC. And allocate space for this IPC. Recording space means allocate space for normal storage, and image space means allocate space for alarm-triggered snapshots. And this is for IPSAM storage, and this is for backup storage. Let's set it 30, 10, 10. Okay. And successful. The last one, advanced. To set recording policy when recording space is used up on the Unicorn. Overwrite means the earliest recordings will be overwritten by new recordings when space is used up. And the stops means the recording will be stopped when space is used up. Overwrite is recommended. And then network configuration. TCP/IP. Unicorn support 3 network working mode: multi-address, load balance, and fault tolerant. Multi-address is the default mode, and it means the network interface cards work independently with different IP addresses. And the load balance means the network interface cards make up a virtual one and then use the same IP and work together to share the network load. And fault tolerance means the network interface cards make up a virtual one and use the same IP and work as a backup to each other. When either network interface cards is down, the other takes over. It has 4 NICs, and the default one, the IP address is 192.168.160, and the other 3 are the number 1 here. It will be changed to 2, 3, or 4 respectively. DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. Static IP address is recommended. An enable DHCP will automatically assign an IP address for the Unicorn. This is the default IP address, and user can access the system with this address on a web or software client. And the MAC address. And this is DNS server, domain name server. It can resolve a domain name into an IP address. And this is to specify the default NIC that the VMS use to send data. EasyCloud is intended for remote surveillance and is disabled by default. You can enable EasyCloud and use the register code to register the Unicorn at the EasyCloud website. If the device status is online, you can use the cloud account to access the Unicorn. Port. To configure HTTP, HTTPS, RTSP, and alarm ports here. Port mapping. We can use port mapping to configure mapping relations between internal and external ports. And by default, port mapping is disabled. VMS supports 2 pop mapping modes, one UPnP and another one is menu. With UPnP selected, the VMS will automatically negotiate external paths with the router. We have to enable UPnP in the router first before you set UPnP on this page. The router must support UPnP. If we select menu, it means it will specify external paths manually, and this mod is usually used when the router does not support UPnP. The last one, email. Email configuration must be completed for all email-related functions, such as alarm-triggered email. And then protocol and interconnection. VSS protocol is the GB28181 protocol in China, and I will not elaborate on it. You can refer to user manual or datasheet for more details. And let's move on to security. ARP protection. We can enable ARP protection and bind the IP of the VMS gateway to its MAC address to prevent attacks. We can set auto to obtain a MAC address automatically or filling a MAC address manually. And then HTTPS. Enable HTTPS by creating a private certificate or uploading a signed certificate. IP address filtering. We can use blocklist or allow list to forbid or allow login of certain IP addresses. And then primary replica switch. Primary replica switch, it is also called a master or slave switch. We can set this unicorn as a primary or replica server. As a primary server, we can set it as working mode or standby mode for system reliability. The hot standby server takes over it when the primary server is down, and when the primary server is recovered, video recorded during the takeover time will be transmitted automatically to the primary server. As a replica server, we can bind it to the primary server, just to put the primary server IP address. A primary replica switch will clear data, restart the unicorn, and reset the password to the default. So you should be careful when you do the operation. This is the system configuration. And then recording backup. This function is to create a task to automatically replicate recordings stored on an NVR or IPC SD card to the unicorn according to schedule. Click Add and then follow the steps to create an auto backup task. Select a server. You can choose primary or replica server. And then select channels for which you want to automatically backup recordings. Select backup speed. The higher backup speed consumes more bandwidth, network bandwidth, and recording date. For example, if you choose 1 day ago, the task that executes on Monday backs up recordings of Sunday. The platform cannot back up recordings of the current day in this way. Select a time to execute a task. Tasks are executed one by one. If a task can't be executed at the scheduled time, it will wait. Recording start time and end time specify which part of a video to back up. We can also choose certain types of recordings: manual recording, motion, or normal. Okay. Oh, we have to select. We select a whole week. Okay. Remember, you need to configure storage for backup on the platform first. It's on the system disk. Here, backup storage. And then the local backup. Local backup means saving recordings manually to a USB drive, and you can format the USB drive in advance or format it on the web. Above are the basic configuration introduction, and then I will show you how to do the maintenance. click System Maintenance. You can restart the Unicorn, restore default configuration, import or export configuration, and export diagnosis information, and perform a local upgrade. Device diagnosis information. Click this icon to export diagnosis information of devices directly connected to the Unicorn, such as NVR and IPC. You can export latest and history diagnosis information. Latest diagnosis information can be exported only when the device is online. And then packet capture. Capture packets for troubleshooting or analysis. We set conditions and click Create Task. Up to 5 tasks are allowed. And select, click to start the task, and click to stop. You can click to export captured packets to your PC locally. And then network detect. You can test a domain name or an IP address. The test result indicates network connection status. And then bandwidth usage. We can view network bandwidth usage statistics, including bandwidth used by IP cameras, remote playback, remote live view, and download, and also idle receive and send bandwidth. And there is another place to do the maintenance. Statistics. Smart Test. It is used to test the current health status of disks and view statistics after the test is finished. The system provides 3 test types: short, extended, and convenience. A short test checks less items and it takes less time. An extended test checks more thoroughly and it takes longer time. And the last one, it mainly checks for data transmission problems. It is recommended to replace the disk if it is not healthy. And then online user. View information about existing users, including username, IP address, login time, and current status. And then bandwidth information. View the real-time bandwidth usage of the primary or replica VMS. The last, recordings. View record status of different channels. And log. We can search and export alarm and operation logs of the Unicorn. We can save it to your PC. I finished the demonstration on web browser, and next I will log in client software to show you the operation. Web access is mainly for configurations and maintenance, while client software is mainly for operations, such as live view, playback, or video wall. And now I will show you how to install and log in the VMS CS client. This is the login page, and down here, we click this client icon to download the setup file or install directly. We'll cancel that, and I have already installed the software, and it will log in directly. Enter the IP address, port, username, and password. The default username is admin, and the password is also 123456. Please set a stronger password after the first time login. The main page consists of control panel, shortcut menu, and some functional buttons. On the up left corner, click to display the pull-down menu. The menu items vary with different users. And the control panel lists icons of functional modules of the software client. We can click an icon to open the corresponding page. And here in the upper right corner, this is current username, admin, and we can click the icon to switch account and log in as a different user. And this button is to lock GUI quickly. We have to enter the password again to log in. And this one is Help button. We click to open user menu of the client software and save it to your PC. And this is Common Function area. You can drag an icon to switch position with another icon, or drag it to the Basic Function area. In the bottom left corner, this is Task Management button. We can click to view recording download tasks. And the second one is to search recordings and downloads. And this one is Alarm Live View button. We click to open the alarm triggered view window. And this one is Latest Alarm button. We click this button to open the Latest Alarm tab. And this is Real-Time Alarm. On the right side, this is IP address of the current VMS. I will introduce you these common functions, and let's start with Live View. There are 6 tabs here, and the first one is Video Channel tab. We select cameras, double-click to open the window, or drag it to another window. When you right-click, you can select the stream type, main, sub, or third. And you can click the star to add this channel to your favorite folder. You can manage your folder here, this favorite tab. Delete this channel from the favorite folder. And the third one is History tab. Click this History tab to view the latest cameras played for the live view. And then this tab, View tab. A view is a combination of screen layout. We can create a view. Click and enter a name View 1. Select multiple cameras. Select window layout and drag. Select stream type. Add another one. Select another window layout. Okay, let's play this view. View 2 and View 1. And then the next tab is Sequence Resource. It is used to play a live video of multiple cameras in one window in sequence. The cameras can be switched automatically in set order at set time interval. And the sequence resource must be configured first. Click Add. Sequence 1 and select cameras. Click to the right and set time interval 5 seconds. Select OK. And let's play this sequence here. The view will switch every 5 seconds. And the last tab is view sequence. It means the view will be played in a sequence by a set time interval, and the view sequence must be configured first too. Click Add. Select multiple views and set time interval minimum 30 seconds. Okay. And let's play this view sequence. Okay, the current view, view 1. And after 30 seconds, it will switch. And now let's move on to the introduction of Live View toolbar. Here. This is to set screen layout. And this one, the second one, is to save current view. And the third one is to close all windows. And this one is to snapshot all. Okay, as you can see that the view has been switched to the view 2. Okay, I will pause this. Okay, and let's move back to this snapshot all. We click and the pictures will be stored locally on the PC. This is a window toolbar. Now when you put the pointer on the window, there will be a window toolbar, and the toolbar is effective to the current window only. And the buttons on the toolbar vary with cameras. For this camera, this is a snapshot and start local recording. Click to start and click to end. And this is PTZ control. This one is digital zoom, audio on, and dual audio. This is instant playback. When you click it, it will play the playback recordings of 1 minute. It's very convenient. And now let's stop. And when you right click, there is a shortcut menu. We take this PTZ control as an example. This is the PTZ control panel, and these are the buttons to control rotation. Okay, and this is to adjust focus, and this is to zoom. And this is to set presets. We can add a preset. Move to another direction. Okay, and we add this as a preset. Middle. Okay. You can delete this preset and also click to move to this direction. And this icon is patrol. We can add a patrol. Select presets. Okay. You can start this patrol by click the start. And every 5 seconds it will change its direction. Okay, let's stop. And there are other buttons here. They are light on, wiper, infrared light, heater, and snow removal. And this is the live view function. And the second function is playback. to search and play recordings saved on the VMS or on the NVR. The software client offers multiple playback modes. Take normal recording playback as an example to show you the general procedures. Select playback mode and select cameras. Set search date and click search. On the right side, this is the search result list. Recording list, channel name, recording source, the recordings saved in center, device, or as backup. And this is recordings with tags, and this is the recordings locked. Click this play button to play this recording. The playback toolbar is at the bottom of the playing area, and when multiple windows are playing, playback control is effective to the selected window only. This is set screen layout, and this is to close all windows and take snapshots. This is to lock recording. When the video is locked, it won't be deleted on the hard disk, even when the storage is overwritten. This function is used to save important videos for further use. And when it is locked, the recording will be listed in the locked recording. And then the tag. We can add a tag at any place you're interested in. And the tag will be listed. And this is to adjust playback speed. And this is to download recordings. You can download by file, by time, tag, and lock. This is to switch to full screen mode. This is the timeline. There are different colors indicating different recordings. The blue one means normal storage, and the red one means event recording. And there are other colors, such as purple, it means VCE recording. Lock symbol and the tag will be shown on the timeline if you added them before. This is a calendar. You can search other days. And there is also a window toolbar when you place a pointer on the window. And when you right-click, there is a shortcut menu. This is a playback function. The next function is a video wall. If you want to play recordings on a video wall, you need to create one first. And we have to add a decoder first in the web browser. I've already added one. And for the first time use, we click and choose a video wall type. DC video wall means the wall will be created by decoding channels of built-in decoder of this unicorn. And DX video wall means the video created by a decoder which has to be added to this unicorn. And the last one means the wall created with decoding card on the NVR. And here we select DX video wall. Enter video wall name and select decoding device. Select ADU device I've added before. This is the ADU. And we set its size. And select the resolution. And enable the auto bind. You have to select auto bind if you need functions such as roaming or picture-in-picture, and click OK. Now I will show you different operations with video wall. Drag the camera in a window, or right-click and drag to open a new window. You can drag the picture to anywhere on the big screen. It is called roaming. Open another new window And these two windows are overlapped. This is called picture-in-picture. We can also add a virtual LED here. Right-click and drag to create a virtual LED. Input the text and set its scrolling mode. OK. After the configuration on the software client, we can play live video on the physical video wall connected with this decoder. And then let's move on to the function EMAP. Click EMAP on the control panel, and then click Add Map. We select a map, enter the name, and the edit map appears on the page and also on the map resource list here on the left. On the Edit Map tab, you can scroll or click these two buttons to zoom in or out. And you can add hotspots. Select a camera. You can drag it to anywhere on the map. This is called hotspot. And you can also add hot zones. It means adding another map on the existing map. Select a picture. And drag it to the intended place. The new map will be listed on the map resources, and up to 7 layers of maps are allowed. You can also add hotspots on hot zone. Drag a camera. OK. This is the picture management. We can delete a map. Deleting a map will also delete all hotspots and hot zones on it. After the configuration, we click the Map tab to use the map. We can view hot zones and hotspots. Double-click to enter a hot zone. And right-click. There will be live view or playback, and also alarm information and clear alarm. This section describes how to add an image map, and to use an online map, you need to do configurations on the web client at System and Map Configuration, and I will not elaborate on that. The next function is a smart function, face recognition. It supports real-time monitoring, face library management, monitoring task, alarm records, and pass-through records. Real-time monitoring, we can view live video and the snapshots of people passing by. Double-click a camera to start live video. It will detect the people's face, and the snapshot will be displayed here. We have to configure NVR as a smart device and add IPC under NVR first, and open face detection function at the web page of NVR. Let's open the web page of this NVR. Click this smart function and select face detection and the face comparison on NVR side. OK. And then face library management. We can manage faces in different libraries. Let's create a face library first. We click this button to add. You can delete or add it. Let's add some face data. input the details. Okay, and then we synchronize this library to the NVR. Okay, and then the monitoring task. With this function, you can compare the captured face with the faces in the library and report alarms. Click Add to create a monitoring task. Choose a monitoring type according to the instructions. Here we select the first one, Private Protocol. Enter the task name and select Alarm type, and then the match similarity threshold to 80. And then we select a library for face comparison. And select monitoring device. We select this PTZ camera. Okay. And let's check whether this monitoring task is synchronized to NVR. Also smart. Face comparison. Okay. Already synchronized. And let's have a test. Okay, the match alarm reported here. You can check alarms in the alarm records, and they are generated by the configured monitoring task. And the last tab is pass-through snapshots, records of passing by people. You can export these results locally to your PC. And this is the face recognition function. And then next function, behavior search. This function is to search VC images and recordings from an NVR, such as cross-line detection and intrusion detection. Select an NVR and the IPCs. We set the date and select cross-line detection. These are the results. We can double-click and then play this video. The alarm video is 10 seconds long, 5 seconds before and 5 seconds after the alarm time. And we can download this video. And here we can click the left or right button to view the previous or next image. And this icon is to switch to the list mode. And we can also click to export search results. The last function is alarm configuration, including the configuration of alarm source, alarm type, device to link, and action to trigger. We click and follow steps to create an alarm plan. Click Add. Set a name. And select a template. And enable the alarm sound. Next, select the alarm source and alarm type. And next, select the trigger actions.
There are four kinds of triggered actions. The first one is live view. It means an alarm will trigger a pop-up window playing live video from the camera. And the second one, go to preset, means an alarm will trigger the PTZ camera to rotate to the preset, and the presets in the list must be configured beforehand. And then the third one, alarm output. The alarm will trigger the camera to output an alarm and trigger an action by a third-party device. And the last one, the alarm trigger the video wall to play live video from the camera, and you need to complete the video wall configuration first. And here we select the live view. And OK. Okay, and now the face detected and the alarm triggered view pop up on the window. Disable it. We can click Alarm Records on the control panel to view the latest alarm and the history alarms. This is the latest alarms, refreshing automatically, and the alarms are labeled with 5 levels. You can acknowledge alarms, and the acknowledged alarms will be moved to the history alarm. In the history alarms, all alarms including latest alarms and history alarms can be retrieved on this tab here. We can acknowledge, view the details, and also click to export the results. You can save it on your PC locally and use the Microsoft Excel to open it. I've finished the operation of common functions on the client software, and this is the end of the training course of VMS operation and maintenance. Thanks for your time.